I had my biggest day of the month, making over $5,000 across my top on futures accounts thanks to the help of copy trading and the double break entry. We're going to go over today's trades as well as the double break signal that presented yesterday because they were both beautiful trades that we took on stream. You can see I even had an options trade in there, which we'll go in a little bit. But if you need to account with top on futures, they're still running 55% off with code ASFX. So make sure you grab those down below if you need them before the sale runs out. But let's take a first look at price action opening up on the day. You can see VWAP alignment is to the upside. We have the overnight VWAP in black. The previous day's New York is even beneath us. Everything is telling us to long it. But if you're new here, we need to wait for the opening range to break. Not only set, which is the first 15 minutes of the day, but also break out of one side. We just know that our better trades present after a side has been broken. So we get a pretty quick one here right at like 9:46, right after the range has set. But we don't want to rush into that first trade that you can actually see. There's the break. Everything's telling me to long it, but what's the one thing that we haven't had? A pullback to the overnight VWAP since 3 in the morning, London open. So it's arguably a little overextended that we haven't had that full pullback, which is what we like to see because we know not only this New York VWAP is a nice place that price likes to bounce from and leave from, it's also the overnight VWAP acts as a nice magnet as it did back here, right? So the reason we're maybe not jumping into the very first long that we see is, well, first of all, this one would have came without a break of the range. We don't trade without a break of the range, so you shouldn't be in a long yet for that reason alone. Then you wait one more minute and we actually get a double break entry to present, which you can see with the new indicator update. Tells you when the entry is in, where your stop loss goes, and where you should be targeting, which in this case is the bottom of the opening range low. So you're actually having a short play saying, yeah, we're a little overextended. We could trade it back to that overnight view up. I know trend is bullish, but doesn't mean I can't trade the pullback back down before we head back higher, right? Because I don't know if we want to head higher from here since we haven't pulled back, right? Hopefully everyone understands that. And if you take that a little bit further here, you'll see it goes into drawdown, but your stop loss at the high of day of the opening range is where the stop loss of this idea is dead. So you want to give it all the room and you can see it quickly flushes back down and you win. Now it goes a little bit lower to that overnight view up and you can see the indicator tells you when the trade has played out. The entry is no longer on the table. There's the double break fulfilled. Now let's look for our next trade. It's not going to be a double break because it's already came and when it's over with. Now, I'm not looking for shorts at this point because I was just playing the shorts for the double break. Let's go back to my markup here and you'll see here's my entry. I actually didn't get it on the very first time that it presented because I didn't know if I liked the shorts back down fully, right? I'm looking at ES and NQ. This is on NQ. But same thing, once I see a lower high be formed, buyers couldn't break us out. Okay, yeah. Let's stop fighting the double break because I did earlier in the week and I played the price for it. So let's not fight it today. Then we get in 2 minutes and we're out at the overnight view up because we know it could still bounce there. The trend is still very much bullish. So we're not jumping in on another short or long until we get another retest to view up, right? Now my next trade, I guess we could touch on just a little bit. It's actually an options trade, which is going to be this one here. As you can see, I'm out of my double break back here at the overnight view up, right? But then it dips a little bit lower beneath the overnight, but still holding that previous day's New York. And I know I'm not a seller because let's go back to this 15-minute chart on the NQ and you'll see 15-minute wise, we're still very much bullish. Like I said, I only shorted it for the double break to be fulfilled, but I know trend is still forming higher highs and higher lows. This could definitely be our higher low. I don't know if we're just going to flush after we had such a strong pre-market of all buyers in control, right? So I'm not married to a bias, but my bias is not bearish past the double break until structure is really being broken and we make a new low here. Anywhere can form a higher low and we head back higher. Being that we also made an all-time high just a couple days ago, it's really tough to try to short it just because you're short-term underneath some VWAPs. If it could sustain beneath VWAPs, then sure. But when you have the POC beneath us, previous days New York, the overnight, all these stacked levels, definitely don't want to get messed around in that area. But I will play that on my options as I'm playing a little bit more aggressive. So I actually longed it on the daily VWAP and then as it held, added in, and then I'm out on the break above New York. Just a quick scalp. On the options, they're going to look fairly different than my futures trades, right? There's no stop loss that you see. It's just playing this price, scalping it up for the next part of trend, and I'm out. So nice max profit on that day, $1,500 on the Vanquish account. Now, that was a nice second long. So we have a short in play that won the double break, a long, which is kind of just like a bounce off of this overnight view up saying, well, I'm not a seller. I would expect buyers to try to kick back in here and continue this trend back up. But what else can I do? Well, I actually longed it later on here as well as I'm out of the options back here. but then we pull back and we respect this overnight VWAP again, the New York VWAP again. Do I expect us to finally not be able to hold this and we move back lower? No, I'm seeing this as a higher low, another higher low, another higher low. I timed it pretty well because that's when it did eventually pop, but it's the same idea. If you just want to be involved at this price, the New York VWAP, waiting for the next leg of trend to finally kick in. And I got a very small move of this compared to what it does do. As you can see over here on the charts, it does kick for a nice new high because the trend was bullish, which we expected it to want to continue since the pre-market was all bullish. That's not a day to be selling it, right? So I got out very prematurely, but I was just sprinkling on the green from this past win that we had back here. So I made money from this VWAP to this, back from this VWAP to this, right? Inversely, I kind of made the same move, just in opposite directions. And I also longed it in here, all within this same range, playing around VWAPs, sticking with the right side of trend for these second two longs. The first one was just playing the signal of double break, which I'm trying not to fight because we did that on Wednesday, I believe, and we paid the price. So hopefully everyone understands the double break. Hopefully everyone sees why I'm still holding a bullish bias into the later morning, and hopefully you guys got similar entries as well, whether it was on this break, a stop loss below should hold, this bounce, any of this is viable because it's the same price that you want to be involved to try to catch this move. Now, you don't know this move specifically is going to bounce at 11 o'clock. It definitely could have did it back here at 10:20. So if you're positioned at it, you eventually should get paid. Now, looking at this is on Friday to end the week. So a nice day of max profit across the Vanquish accounts, the top on futures accounts. Like I said, I'm copy trading 5 of them on the Elite Access. I'm going to have a video coming out on that, a breakdown of their rules, so go check that out. And if you need an account with them, like I said, 55% off, crazy deal that they're running right now, which we're also doing a giveaway. Anyone that buys any account on this sale with code ASFX while the sale is still running, you'll get entered into the giveaway to win $1,000. Gonna give 3 people $1,000, and each account that you buy is another entry. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. But let's go to this one more trade here, which is the day prior. All right, we're going over Friday's trades. Let's go over Thursday's trade. Another double break on ES, even though it doesn't look very strong because we broke well above VWAPs here. This is why you just don't fade the double break strategy right now, because even though those buyers out of the gate, it takes a little bit of time. It's stressful, you could argue, but it does eventually pay. So going over it here, I didn't make a video on this one. I think I did on my NQ chart, but the whole idea was I was actually making money long on NQ, but the double break on ES did not care. I was making money long, it's presenting a short over here, and it still pays. So whether you made money in this first little scalp and played it again, that'd be kind of like perfect trading, great trading. But as long as you're just in at this New York VWAP, playing this price level of the double break is in play, stop loss at the high. I would hate to see someone bail on it here, saying, oh geez, we're back above both VWAPs, we're leaving the opening range high, this thing's coming higher. Of course it could have, but the stop loss at the high is where you want to be out. You know for sure you want to be out because now structure is not holding, the shorts are not in play. Because anyone that bailed there sees 20 minutes later that it hits their TP, and then how do you think they feel the rest of the day? Probably tilting, revenging, all that ugly stuff, right? So let's even go take that to today's ES on Friday again, because there was a double break there as well. Again, kind of ugly, not ideal, right? What's ugly? But the double break short here, stop loss goes at the high. So if you rewind this, because you can really see it in real time when you guys are probably taking this trade, which I am on NQ, the double break has a stop loss up there, right? The indicator is telling you exactly how to manage this trade. Fairly simple. You press sell, you're in the short. 2 minutes later, oh my God, why did I sell that? It's a bounce off VWAP, full trend alignment to the longs. Everything is higher highs and higher lows. Why am I in this short? Oh my God, another bar right up. Like, why am I in the short? Let me bail on this thing. This thing's definitely going to tag me out. Now, in this case, you could argue, I don't know how much risk you have on. You're at 9 points. Stop loss is 10. What's one more point? Just get full stopped out. Why bail early and save yourself a point? Now, maybe that point's worth a lot. Who knows how many contracts you have on, right? But the stop loss is where you want to be out, because anything in between that could be a lower high, because then you pull the trade there and within 3-4 minutes, it's back in TP. And again, you're angry, you're avenging now, you're probably chasing this short, and a whole day is ugly when it just was another lower high, stop loss was never hit. There's the pullback to the daily VWAP. Now I'll give it to you, because let's go to my Friday one here. I got in when I technically got in, even though it was a couple minutes late. I'm paid in 3 minutes. Pretty hard to mess that up. Couldn't really have time to bail on it, even if I had to or wanted to, right? That this is how we want them all to move, but they're not all going to. Some of them are going to pull back and then pay you. Let's even go to the one that we were going over on Thursday. It goes into profit, then draw down. But stick with it, have confidence, mark these up, get better reps at them, and you'll have faith in them, and then you finally get paid, right? But if you don't take this signal a lot, or you're not tracking them, studying them, marking them up, then yeah, you're probably not going to be confident in it. But doing the practice, taking the setups, and sitting through them with not too much size, you get the confidence behind you to keep on taking it and sit through it. I'm saying I've seen this play out before. I know this doesn't look great, but I've seen this happen dozens of times. I'm fine. I'm going to sit through it, right? So pretty clean day, pretty clean week across the double break steps. So make sure you keep on studying that. Stay tuned for more videos on this channel about that, as well as Top 1 Futures, the accounts that they have out. I already have a bunch of videos on that, but nice little max profit to end the week of 5K across the options and the Top 1 Futures accounts, like I said. So with that, I'll see you guys on stream tomorrow morning.